How are all of my beautiful people doing today? I hope you are all doing well. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. We're going to be playing more Final Fantasy 15 today, so I hope you're excited. We also want to discuss like a few things that have happened over I guess not over the past few days, but like, yeah, I just want to talk about some stuff. Mostly around some cut content speculation. I was going to say something about Somnus, actually, but I thought it was a little too too hard for a dumb Twitter joke. Yeah, I know. Which, by the way, Twitter has been kind of wild for me over the past few days, as some of you may have seen, but we're good. We're good. My PS4 died, so I lost my save. Didn't hurt much because I never plan on revisiting this game. Oh, it's sad. I do think that this is actually a game that is like very much worth revisiting. Hi, how's the Twitter fame treating you? Oh my god, that shit is so silly. So we can talk about that first, actually, since all that happened, and fill in some people that didn't know. It's pretty silly. Hold on one sec, let me... So, it's so silly, man. Let me tell you guys what happened for those who don't know. As you guys know, it's really important nowadays to make shorts content, right? Whether that be YouTube shorts, reels, all kinds of other stuff. On a previous stream, we had discussed how it was silly to blame Final Fantasy VII Remake, the development of Final Fantasy VII Remake, on Kingdom Hearts, or blame the delay of Kingdom Hearts 4. Blame the delay of Kingdom Hearts 4 on Final Fantasy VII Remake. Sorry, I can't speak. Because I'm like, one, they are two separate teams, even though they both operate with under the Creative Studio 1 branch. Two, more than likely, I feel we're going to find out that the 7R team actually helped the Kingdom Hearts team. It's just a feeling that we're going to find that out, especially Hamaguchi. Anyways, I had said that if there was any Final Fantasy that had any sort of impact on Kingdom Hearts 4, logically speaking, that would have been 16. Because they had to stop working on Kingdom Hearts 4 or delay beginning the work on Kingdom Hearts 4 in order for some of the team members to go and assist with FF16. In that statement, I was not saying that FF16 for sure is the reason Kingdom Hearts 4 is taking so long. I was not saying that it is all FF16's fault that Kingdom Hearts 4 is taking so long. I just pointed out that this is why the Twitter discourse is so stupid. Because they are talking about a game that has verifiably, given all the information we know, has not had an impact on the game's development. And I said, if you were looking for something to blame, if you were looking for something to blame, it probably would have been 16, even though I don't really think 16 made like a tremendous slowdown for Kingdom Hearts 4. But it probably did have some type of impact. Like, let's be honest, you can't take people off of a project and it not. But at the same time, I don't think it's the main reason, the main number one thing for why they are doing this. And some people also interpreted this like, why are you defending this multi-billion-dollar company, or this multi-billion-dollar company, and that was also like strange. Every time I look up, I am either a shill or I'm a hater. Like, I hate everything they do. I'm always saying they failed. Or I defend everything they do. And I'm not like blaming the right things. Which I've kind of found a little, I don't know. I don't think that's an accurate representation of me. That's just my opinion, though. You guys, especially everyone here watching, you guys definitely interact with me the most. You guys tell me if you think that's an accurate representation of how I have conducted my discourse and community and discussions, what may have you. So, anyways, that was reposted, and a lot of people got mad at me. And a lot of people said a lot of insane things about me that I think anyone in my community would probably not really agree with. So, no, I followed you for a long time. You're just a dude who likes FF a lot, but you're quite critical, if anything. Yeah, I mean, that's the type of brand, persona, whatever you want to call it. But the way I like to approach these things is that I'm not like an overly critical, like hate-driven guy that's just like trying to slander everything I don't like. But I'm also not like a fanboy either. So I try to sit in this center where I am judging things fairly, but I'm not just glazing, and I'm not just like being a hater. I am trying to be really rational and really logical about how I take on this stuff. Robert Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. Definitely not a shill. I don't watch content creators that shill. You give it to us straight and love the games. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Robert. And that's what I aim for. That is really what I aim for. But I think that sometimes people can see things like get like little pieces of me and not really the whole thing. And then those people get perceptions of me that I don't think are accurate. Clack says, you're honestly the most rational content creator I've ever seen. I don't think people like nuance anymore. It's either you must hate everything on this side or you must be a fanboy for everything on this side. Right. And that's the exact type of person that I really try hard to avoid being. I am honestly a terrible businessman, which is weird because there were some comments calling me a grifter, which I thought was like fucking insane, because I actively make bad choices for my business like all the time. There are many times where it definitely would have benefited me to just lie and go along with whatever the thing was. And I don't. Like, for example, when I didn't like Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1's ending, I stuck to it. The better thing for me to do in that situation was to lie and say I like it. And said I like the way that game ended, and I like the arbiters, and I like all that stuff. That was actually the beneficial thing for me to do. Because the thing is, it's not like I go and make hate content, right? For example, it is true that I'm not a very big fan of Final Fantasy 16. However, my response to that is I just don't make Final Fantasy 16 videos unless it's relevant to the news, right? Like I just don't make it. I don't go and post like hit pieces on the game. I may talk about why I don't like it in relevant news and analytical videos, but I don't really, like make video or like, try to cash in on why I don't like it. I include that perspective, but I don't actively try to milk why that is bad. And so, yeah, so I don't really, yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I am going to have feelings on stuff, and yeah. But to say that, also, hello, nice to see you here. But to say FF7 had no impact and that FF16 did makes no sense either, especially considering that Kitase asked Nomura to finish the script for part 3. We don't know what impact it's had, but also at the same time, Nomura has been he's been active on all the projects that he's been working on. And I mean, or how should I say this? He's always been working on multiple games, right? So it's never the case that he's only working on one thing. Even when he was working on Kingdom Hearts 2, he was actually drafting the design document for Final Fantasy Versus 13. This is back in 2003. And so I don't really know, Memoria, whether it's ever been the case per se that he has he's basically always been working on Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts simultaneously. So we may not agree with everything said on Twitter, but Night Sky Prince, but I'll forever find Night Autistic Prince funny. Yeah, apparently someone called me that, by the way, and suggested that tons of people call me that, which that is certainly news to me, if that is the case. Nomura has gone on record saying to say he works on multiple stories as one finishes. Right. So he was working on Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3 at the same time, right? And I mean, that was also the case. You could maybe argue that both of those games were delayed because of that. I don't know. I'm personally a big fan of the Crazy 7R stuff, but what I love about the project is how wildly different the reactions are, negative or positive. It's creatively interesting. That much I agree with, for sure. It is creatively interesting. Are the people that say Night Autistic Prince in the room with us now? I mean, maybe, because now people are saying it ironically. So now it's actually going to be a thing. I think it's actually kind of funny, though. I mean, on the real, there's not like a 0% chance that I am autistic because, first of all, people with ADHD, there's a high likelihood if you have one, you might have the other. And also they have overlap in general. I took the RADS-R and I scored like really high on it. So it's not impossible for that to be true. Yeah. In terms of timing, FF16 doesn't have a direct impact on KH4 either, given the release dates, even though there were a few people involved in the early stages of 16's development before KH4 announced. Like I said at the start of the stream, I don't know if you were here for it, Memoria, but basically, my whole point with that was not that I like definitely think that it did. I'm not dying on that hill, but that's also not the hill that I'm even on. I'm just saying that it's unlikely that either of them had an impact on Kingdom Hearts 4 directly. Kingdom Hearts 4's delay probably doesn't even have to do with Square Enix. I'm going to be honest with you. It probably has to do with Disney. I think that's the main culprit. Also, people really forget just how complicated developing Kingdom Hearts actually is. Kingdom Hearts is probably one of the hardest AAA games to develop right now. Because one of the things that you have to keep in mind with Kingdom Hearts is that every world is completely different and has absolutely no overlap with each world, right? And so they cannot reuse assets. And so each world is a completely different thing that they have to work on. And that takes a tremendous amount of time. And back on the PlayStation 2, that was a lot easier to do when each world was kind of a simple box, geometry wise, and honestly, game design wise too, right? It was a box with some enemies in it and some things to interact with. However, that's not the case with Kingdom Hearts 3 onward. And so the number of assets that have to be generated is quite tremendous. Honestly, the fact that a game like Kingdom Hearts 4 is not, like, won't likely take 10 years is kind of fucking insane to me. Like, if you really think about how complicated it is to develop this, it's insane that it doesn't take a fucking decade to make something like Kingdom Hearts 4. Shit is so distinct you can't even reuse a barrel from one world to the other. Oh yeah, like there's no way. You can't even reuse the smallest asset over again. It's also why I think KH3 is too big in terms of file size. I mean, that's probably why. I mean, yeah, I expect Kingdom Hearts 4 to be like a 100 gigabyte game real easily. Look, it's been 20 years now. People have to accept there have been some serious deep-rooted issues in dev pipeline across all teams at SE, going back to FF12 and Matsuno leaving the company. We then had the complete failure of 14.1.0, the forced use of crystal tools, etc. 15, etc. Blaming any project for delays is so pointless as dominoes go way back. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Anyways, the point is, to clarify my point. Oh, first of all, I want to read Clax. Clax, thank you for the bits. In my opinion, part of the reason people assume others have been radicalized and unnuanced takes is because they themselves have radicalized takes. And that since people don't like to dig deeper in one person's opinion, it's much easier to try and find one small supporting argument or part of a statement, take that as the main point and blow it way out of proportion while removing the context. Yes, 100%. And I understand why people would read the post that way, because obviously I don't like Final Fantasy 16, and I don't think it was the right direction for the series. And I'm not going to shy away from stating that, because I do think that it would be disingenuous for me to say anything otherwise, right? That is genuinely how I feel. Talking about that even, again, is actually not a good business move. It's actually a bad business move. It definitely will disconnect me from some of my audience. It definitely will cause some people to inherently not like me, which I think is funny. I think like not liking a guy because they didn't like the same game as you is just kind of strange. But you have to remember that typically it's not even so much that people don't like you. They don't like the concept of you based on a game of telephone about something you said, right? And so you kind of have to think about that. So I've developed a little bit of thick skin over the years with doing this. So not as bothered as I was, for sure. I do honestly think Square Enix would be genuinely insane if they tried to make Final Fantasy 17 an evolution of 16. Well, I mean, there are definitely some people that really love what 16 does. And obviously, like, I think that there is like this notion in video game discourse that, like, if I like something or don't like something or have a different take on this or that, that I'm like basically suggesting that if you have a different opinion than me, then you have like a moral failing. I think that's the way that people look at it, in like this very tribalistic way. I mean, I don't really see things like that. A lot of people who I have a great amount of respect for, who also create content on 16 and how much they love 16. For example, like my my good friend Limitless, for example. I think he's a brilliant content creator, and I love supporting him. He disagrees with me on the game, but I don't mind. So I think after this FF15 playthrough is done, maybe distance yourself from FF and mostly FF discourse for a good while. Trust me, distancing myself from the fandom and play other games is great. Also made it easier to go back and enjoy what I always enjoyed about FF with all the noise. For sure. For sure. I like doing this, and I really like talking about the series, but in many cases it does get kind of Memoria says, it's not about that, it's your shorts, you're insulting people for having the same opinion on FF7 too, you know what I mean? Okay. Chat, I would like for you guys, as people who very often interact with my streams, am I constantly insulting people for any type of disagreements? Do you guys feel that actively represents my content? Because Memoria here has made a point on Twitter and here that I do that all the time. And I don't know, maybe I do. You guys tell me if that's the case. Okay, I have not seen a single yes. Okay, like literally everyone in chat is saying no. Okay. You've never ever done that? Okay. You're one of the coolest guys I know. Thank you. Delusional take. Okay. 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 So that's why. Okay. So this is my point, Memoria. I don't think I genuinely don't think I've done that, and most of the people I know here that these are like some of my most active viewers who have consumed lots of NSP content. They seem to they seem to not agree with that. So by playing FF15, I mean playing that game is an insult to me. In your Twitch during the FF Pixel remaster, you debated me FF opinions respectfully, and I'm just a random chatter, so no, you don't do that. Okay. So that is good to hear. For example, Crossy in chat, good friend of mine, motherfucker disagrees with me like all the time. me and him disagree about a lot of stuff. We've had our back and forth. Low key, I actually kind of liked it. I liked how much he would challenge me on certain things. I modded him over this because I was like, dude, hell yeah. Oh, I hate your guts sometimes, but I'm not a child. People have different opinions. You hate my guts sometimes? Really? Over video game opinions? Is it that serious? See, I don't hate anyone over this stuff. If anything, I feel like a deep sense of empathy because I think that um, I think that if you're really just hating someone over a screen because of the video game takes, then I feel like there is probably maybe not enough love and support going on in like your regular life to be thinking that video game takes are that serious, because they aren't, right? Like something has to be going wrong there. I don't think that that's a normal healthy behavior to be that deep into video game takes. I just think that at the end of the day, uh, when it comes to video game takes, um, I go to my friends and family and they support and love me, and they actually know me, right? They know Ryan Johnson, not just uh, not just the concept of NSP, right? And you guys know a dimension of me too, for sure. Um, yeah. Memoria, I'm determined for you to be one of my good friends and allies. So I'm not gonna like push against you or anything like that, or convince you what you said is wrong or right. You can watch my content and you can figure it out whether you think that. Um, there's a deeper issue with feeling secure off if video games takes set you off right. You know, definitely I've thought like some people were wild maybe for some video game takes, but I've never I don't know. There's no content creator I've ever thought like I hate that guy because of the video game takes or what may have you. I don't know. Maybe I'm maybe I'm the weird one. Someone saying FF10 only sold 8.6 million copies after 12 years. I find it hard to believe. When you factor in the remaster sales and you subtract 10.2 from the equation, uh, Final Fantasy X is actually closer to 15 million. I haven't seen the Mario Galaxy movie yet. I'm kind of curious. I thought the first Mario movie was pretty decent. My Easter was good. I went to go see my mom. She's doing good. So I had a good time. Uh, I know me and NSP are cool. The most heated things ever got was us, was Twitter and was Twitter shit. And it ended up just with us saying to each other, we respect you enough to not want to argue. We know we aren't going to change each other's mind. Yeah. Yeah. I think that nowadays people too frequently base relationships, and this goes for like not just internet relationships, I think, but like friendships and romantic relationships, even. Too much of the world is based on agreement and not about how we handle disagreement. Memoria, it's okay, bro. I've already decided that I like you no matter what, and there's nothing you can do about it. So don't worry. We're going to be on good terms. I had to take a break from the Pokemon fandom for over a decade because of people getting mad at me for criticizing its fault, but still saying it had potential. I'm just now getting back into the fandom. That shit is like so funny to me. I could not be deep into the Pokemon fandom, bro. I'm sorry. That shit would absolutely fucking break me. Because I know I would be the like one of the most outspoken people about pushing for it to be better, and I know people would hate that. And I also hate that like the idea of pushing for things to be better is also like some type of like condemnation of the devs working on stuff, which isn't true, you know. Because I saw some people say I hate CS3, which I thought was like fucking crazy, because I was like, did you not see how much I loved like the Hydaelyn Zodiac saga and how big of a fan of 14 I was? And like, I really do like Yoshi P, even still now. I have like a great deal of respect for him. Got to meet him in real life, and by the way, like he is like a drip god. If you ever get to see him, I mean, you could see him in like the videos and such too, but like you ever see him in person, he just has a magnetic energy, and he is always dressed like so well. But yeah, I strongly disagree with the design decisions and a lot of the stuff around 16. I do. Are you going to stream the 14? When is FanFest? But yeah, I'm not opposed to streaming it. I don't know if I'll stream the whole thing. I really was not in the 6.x, and Dawn Trail made me check out. So I'm really wanting to love 14 again. I'm really wanting to love it again. I really do. But I was just so like checked out with like some of the recent story developments that, and I'm hearing that it's getting good again. But yeah, I mean, the primary reason I was so excited for 16, even though 16 was like going against a lot of the preferences I had for, you know, Final Fantasy content, was I was like, well, I really fucking like 14. So I think some people insisting that I think that CS3 is terrible now. I'm like, it's not even remotely true. I've even said before that I think Ishikawa should write Final Fantasy 17, because that is their best talent. So I would still give Yoshi P another chance, even though I didn't like 16 for sure. I still actually want to see CS3 make another mainline. I just don't want them to do more of what they did with 16, because I think a lot of the things that they did with that were not good for the brand ultimately. And I'm not going to, there just isn't a way for me to talk about my perception of this without being honest about that fact. And that's not to say that CS1 is also being ran perfectly right now, because I do think that CS1 also has most of CS1's issues are narratively, though, like strictly narrative, that I think is kind of the problem with CS1. Let Yuji Horii write Final Fantasy 17. Fuck it. When SC staff have struggled for years, let Mr. Dragon Quest himself show you youngins how. I mean, that's how Yoshi P got kind of got his bearings too. And the new writer seems to have found his groove now. Yeah. So I'm eventually going to go and finish Dawn Trail. I'm sure I won't like the based expansion very much if it's anything like the writing in 6.x, which I just found like, because it's really funny. People talk about Dawn Trail being like kind of the narrative downfall, because I think it was 6.x that like things started to uh, go downhill for me. We do know that there's a few people from FF16 and Ishikawa have been missing, so they're working on something. Yeah. Um, as I mentioned before, I don't think CS3 is working on 17. I do think it's CS1. The reason is because we've never had a creative studio develop two mainline Final Fantasy games in a row. It hasn't happened. Typically, they like to go back and forth. If this is maybe like the first time that they do that, I would be surprised. But I genuinely, honestly don't think that's the case. You reckon they're making FF18 or something new? That's a good question. I could honestly see it being both. I could easily see it being Final Fantasy 18, or I could see it being a brand new IP. They've been trying to cultivate a brand new IP for quite some time now. Forspoken was one such attempt. Typically, whenever they have like a successful Final Fantasy launch, they want that team to try to make something new after that, which I understand. But Forspoken probably wasn't the move. I think that Final Fantasy 15's team should have finished FF15, and I think that maybe they should have worked on 17 or something after that. Didn't Kiryu say we have something Square Enix in development, not Square or Enix? Did he? That's an interesting statement. Um, which, by the way, this is something that a lot of Daryl from Final Fantasy unions um, research has really kind of opened my eyes on, because basically Square and Enix still operate like two separate companies in a lot of ways, which is crazy. Um, and all the creative studios operate like their own companies too. It almost begs the question of like, what even is Square Enix? Because you have all these different divisions basically acting on their own accord. And there's an argument really that the company never actually merged. They just operate under one umbrella. I'm sorry for suggesting to post the FF16 short. I really didn't think people are this stupid on Twitter. I saw a few posts that were hating on you for no reason. Crazy how stupid Twitter folks are. I mean, it was a good idea for a short, I think. I understand. I should, but like the problem is that I shouldn't have just taken the stream clip and used that. I probably should have included all nuance. And this is also the problem with short form content, is that you cannot include all nuance. You have to upload just like the most clippable moment. Otherwise, it's not good short form content. I'm slowly realizing maybe I'm not built for short form content. Because everything in SP, in order to witness the true NSP, you must have all of the context. And I'm very elaborate and detailed. So, meanwhile, Capcom has such an amazing amount of goodwill, it can take risks with new IPs like Pragmata. SE should base their business concepts off of Capcom. 1000%. Do shorts with nuance, man. Bro, it's hard. It's hard. Actually, when I do try to do shorts with nuance, it's like really funny because People are like, you take too fucking long to get to the point. Right? And so usually it's best whenever I clip it straight from my videos. But if you try to do it like a take that's not from the videos, and you try to do a take that's like just offhand on stream, it's tough. You need an editor and a fast speaking cadence to do shorts with nuance. You do. And I've experimented with even like speeding up my speaking cadence, like speeding up like the actual speed of the clip. I know it's easy to cut and up. Yeah, exactly, right? But in order for me to convey all nuance, I usually have to. So I just see it as like a learning moment. And you know, honestly, the people who don't like me because I do think that a lot of things that 16 did were not the appropriate direction for the brand, like turning the game into a hack and slash with what are, in my opinion, an insufficient level of RPG elements. That's fine. That's fine. I probably won't be able to win you over because you just have a different perception of the brand and the series than me. Fair enough. I'm not here to convince you that you're wrong on that. But I do also grant you respect for perceiving it otherwise than I do, for sure. Like I said, some of my closest friends perceive this, my best peers that I love dearly, perceive that as, like a life-changing game for them. And I'm not here to tell them, like, fuck you, that shit, you're garbage. No, I'm not here to say that. I'm here to say that, like, hey, this is video games. We're in disagreement about video games and capitalism. It's not personal, really. I know that they may see it personal with me, and that's fine. If you want to see it personal with me, you want to see me as, garbage because I don't like the idea of Final Fantasy becoming a hack and slash and minimizing RPG elements and doing excessive spending on icon fights, which I don't think are the vast majority of the game. Yeah. You're like the anti-low tier god. You lift people up instead of telling them to keep themselves safe. Yeah. I agree with you about FF16. It's not a bad game. It doesn't feel like true FF in terms of gameplay, right? And that's the thing. I think when you observe what's going on, it's impossible to separate that a large growing portion of the fan base, every game that releases, feels like FF is not doing the thing that it's supposed to be doing anymore. And whenever you combine that with the sales kind of going in a bad direction, we do have to analyze that stuff. Now, if Final Fantasy 16 sold 10 million units, or even 7 million units, I don't think I'd be able to have this conversation. I would just have to shut the fuck up, right? I would be a mad old man about it, but I wouldn't have any grounds to proceed that conversation any further. And I would just have to accept that. And that's fine, right? Because if that is the case, I can't do anything. I can't do anything about it. I just have to take the L. But because that is not the case, I do think that there are grounds for what I'm saying. So speak about how SE still feels like Square and Enix. The part of SE that has consistently been producing successful IP is Team Asano. Yeah, and Team Asano is Enix, right? And then you look at Dragon Quest and the other Enix parts of the business. Yeah. The Enix part of the business is debatably the best ran part of Square Enix, which is why HD2D and Team Asano have been really successful. I don't agree with all your takes, but you are realistic and not delusional like some of the Square fandom. Most of your takes are based as fuck. Thank you. Um, Square Enix is creating some friction. I'm not saying it's wrong to experiment and try new things, but the fan base is already pretty sensitive to begin. It's a very sensitive fan base. um, Honestly, even returning to turn-based, I don't think will. It won't make everybody happy because some people will be like, "You gave up. We really like the action-based Final Fantasies," and that's fair. Like those people are fair. I don't ever take my own beliefs or like my own kind of opinions about stuff and see that as like objective truth. I just see like my takes as one perspective, and clearly that perspective does seem to resonate with some people, and so. But I don't think that people who have different perspectives than I do on any of this stuff are necessarily like delusional or wrong. And I'm very open to the fact that I may be wrong on a lot of this stuff. And I've openly talked about with you guys that, you know, uh, I know some stuff that I'm going to say is probably going to age horrendously bad, and some stuff I say will age really well. But everything is just what makes sense to me at the time, right? Everything is just what is making the most sense to me in this moment. And as we, have these conversations about things, that may change, right? And so maybe one day I'll look back and say, "Oh, it was an L take for me to not see the brilliance of like what 16 was doing," and that's always a possibility. That is like always a possibility. 16 is a good game, but only if you view it as a new IP, not Final Fantasy. That's the only way I could fully enjoy it without absolutely hating on it. I mean, yeah. I don't even think it's I don't think it's like a terrible game. And that's part of the problem with a lot of these discussions is that it's usually like, "Oh, you think it's like a terrible game." I don't think it's like a terrible game or anything like that. I do have criticisms of like what it actually is, like not presenting a harder difficulty earlier on. I just think that it makes the wrong choice for what the Final Fantasy brand is, which I think is a different conversation even than if the game is good or bad, right? That's why deep down I'm actually kind of glad like 16 didn't sell amazingly well. It sends a good message of what FF fans actually want. Yeah. Um, I think I saw someone say, was it in chat? Was it in this chat? Someone said that Square Enix will make everything but Final Fantasy. Someone said that in the chat, and like whichever one of you said that actually kind of got me thinking. I think you may have said that about the Dissidia Duellum, but like um it did kind of get me thinking on the idea that not to say that like, post 10 Final Fantasy is not Final Fantasy, or like this isn't a true Final Fantasy or whatever the fuck. I'm not bringing that up to engage in that discussion. Um, what I'm bringing it up to say is that there is like a specific thing that fans are quite clear on wanting, or a lot of, I should say, disenfranchised fans want, and also people who kind of like the current stuff wouldn't be opposed to. I think there is an easy win for Square Enix with Final Fantasy. And I do think that they just kind of refuse to take it in a lot of ways. This is also a really good, important chat statement here. Turn-based doesn't automatically make the game good either, and that seems to be the consensus I usually read when they want to return to turn-based. Yeah, that's also another thing too, is that they could make Final Fantasy 17 a turn-based game and it could still fucking suck. It could potentially suck more than any of the Final Fantasy action games. turn-based doesn't equal good Final Fantasy by default. It would be good for the brand and good for uniting fans and good for the amount of money that is being spent on the games, which I think is the actual true argument for turn-based. I don't think the argument for turn-based is it's not Final Fantasy if it's not turn-based. I don't think that's, for me, that's not like really the argument, because whatever the series is basically defined by its strongest outing, right? Like Resident Evil 4 OG is not like the previous Resident Evil games before it. So then you have to ask, is it Resident Evil? And then the answer is yes, because RE4 was strong enough of a game to kind of redefine the series, right? Both critical reception, financial reception, etc. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about the duellum thing in a second, and then we'll talk about the cut content stuff, and then we'll talk about that. So anyways, I do think that 16 had like an opportunity to kind of redefine things in that way. I am not kidding when Roberto Ferrari told me that 2 terabytes of Versus 13 assets were flushed. Proof? Email me proof. A screenshot, something that would be interesting. I don't care what game gameplay FF has. I just want it to be good and not be reactionary to negativity to the prior entry. Oh, that's another thing too, is that everything is always kind of like reactionary to the last thing, right? 15 was a response to 13, and then 16 was a response to 15. Yes, and then it keeps going back and forth, right? And that's precisely why I think that 17 is going to be a lot more, let's just say, on the tactical side, because given the pattern of this is a response to that and that is a response to this. So I'm willing to bet that if anything, 17 will have like, and this would be like a doomer take, I know, and I don't want this to be the case. But if the pattern follows, with them having like super reactionary responses, 17 will have so many like absurd RPG mechanics that it will probably be kind of like that the RPG mechanics may actually be like a bit adverse, because they'll just panic and be like, people didn't like the fact that there weren't enough RPG elements, so we're gonna make everything possible, like a crafting system and a leveling up progression system, and which theoretically I would prefer back like to 16, but there are definitely ways in which that can be adverse. What do you think about Square Enix risking their name and franchise on questionable business models? Don't you think that could hurt sales to their big name games? Which questionable business models? You mean like the one in Dissidia Duellum, or yeah, can you tell me which ones so I can have like maybe a more specific take on that? I liked 16, but I kind of wish it was shorter and had less of the slower paced MMO sections. I think that a common through line that you could say with Remake, Rebirth, and 16 is that all 3 of those games would have been better if they were about 50. Well, not Rebirth. Rebirth needed to be a lot more than that. But like definitely with 7R and 16, if they were like 10 or 15 hours shorter, they would have been better and more replayable. Remakes, remasters, and mobile games. I don't think it's a questionable business model to do remakes, remasters, and mobile games. I think it's just a really fucking safe one. And I think it's overly safe. And I think that's the problem with what they're doing right now, is that they're doing a lot of safe shit with the remakes and the remasters, and it's not bad. I don't think that like putting out, tactics so that people can play it on modern hardware is bad. Um, but I do think that um, there is more of that than new games right now, and I think that might be a problem for sure. They need new games for sure. They won Publisher of the Year at Metacritic, but I don't think that was a particularly great win for them. I think that win actually highlighted an L in reality. They won because their entire portfolio right now is games from 20 years ago remade. Games that are very beloved, like Dragon Quest VII and Final Fantasy Tactics. Uh, but it's not, none of it is anything new, right? None of it was like, I mean, other than like Octopath Zero, for the most part, it was games that are already well known and loved. And I mean, if Ferrari doesn't mind, or if he could speak with me about it, I would love that. Honestly, though, I think they should have just put out verses with PS3 graphics. Just kept using what they had and was like, fuck it. It's going to look like a PS3 game and we're going to put it on PlayStation 4. Business guys aren't going to think that, though. Yeah, but also, too, there is only so much of the business that you can really expand with remakes and remasters, right? It's not growth for sure. Um, you're using it to kind of sustain your current existing audience. So let's talk about some stuff, like actual stuff, really quickly, and then we'll play some Final Fantasy 15. I'm hoping to get the last royal weapon today, and I'm hoping to um, also, what do you call it, do the base. Honestly, we may just do some more side questing. I'm like enjoying side questing. I really don't want to like rush this playthrough at all. Um, it's just been too much fun, to be honest. Okay, let me pull this one out. Okay. Okay. Give me one sec. Hold on real quick. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. Please get in contact with NSP. I'd love to see this interview. Yeah. Actually, to be honest with you, I wonder if Ferrari would just be willing to talk to you face to face over Skype or whatever, for real. If you could, if you could do it, if you could do it, that'd be great. Um. So here, let me move this here. And then there. That way, everyone can still see. So, this shit is crazy, man. Like, holy shit. We have been... this kind of like goes with like what I've been saying. So, Square Enix is currently exploring the possibility of a Dissidia Duellum Final Fantasy PC version. They said this constraint does not make... Actually, what the fuck was the answer to the question? Okay. Oh, they're gonna make me turn on the ads. That's okay. We'll do it on this one. I only use the ad blocker because I get so many ads on the screen that it makes it usually impossible to to stream these things without ads. But anyway, NSP is my online emergency boyfriend when I'm in a bad situation. For real, trust. That's awesome. This constraint does not make a PC version impossible. While we cannot provide specific details at this time, we are currently exploring the possibility of a PC version. It's just fucking crazy, man. All of these gacha games that Square Enix is making should have a PC version. It is just fucking insane that they don't. And this is kind of ties back into like what I was saying with the brand itself, right? You have to consider where your fans are and meet them there. Most of your fans who play these gachas need them on console and PC, right? So in order for an existing in order for a Final Fantasy gacha to take off, you have to appeal to the existing fan base, right? Like you have to. And the existing fan base wants to be able to play these games on console and PC. So if you have the game there, the kind of base of people who will support the game no matter what, they will be there, right? You'll have a greater percentage of those players actively engaging with the game. When they don't have that, a lot of people simply will not check out the game purely because it is on mobile only and not on PCs and consoles. If you just have this game on PC and console, a lot of people who've like sworn this off say that they won't touch it will actually touch it the moment that you put it on PC and console. So I think they are losing out by not doing that. I also think that, as it was just mentioned in chat, the Hoyoverse games have kind of set the bar for what gachas are supposed to be now. And while I don't think that everything has to be on the level of Genshin Impact, the reality simply is that people want to be able to play these free-to-play games everywhere, right? And that's the type of model they should be adopting. They need to be thinking, again, about their existing fan base and leveraging their existing fan base. The way that Final Fantasy grows from maybe there's a ceiling of 5 million people who are buying the game currently, right? And then you want to grow that ceiling back to 10 million and then double that ceiling again to 20 million. What you have to do in order to make that happen, I think, is you need to take the, let's say, 5 million existing... Hello? You may not be able to see me right... Oh, wait. Now you can. Oh, shit, my light's off. And my camera's turned. And, oh... It's on, like, the yellow setting. Okay, so I, like, lost power. I'm so sorry. My power went out. This is, like, the second time this week this has happened. By the way, does the same YouTube link work? I've never done this before with YouTube, so I actually don't know if the same YouTube live link will work. Let me test that out. Let me see that. See if you guys are still like actually. Oh, it does. Oh, that's so cool. Holy shit. Wow. That's awesome. Wow. Okay, cool. Because back when I was using Streamlabs, like I had to like create like a new YouTube. Okay. I'm so glad we're back. I'm sorry about that. For those who didn't see, I had a power outage. The power just like literally, it just turned off. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Let me pull back up the link. And I guess we'll continue talking about what we were just talking about. Before we were rudely interrupted. Texas Power Grid, brother. Brother. Holy crap. Actually, let me tweet out real quick so that people know that we are back. Just so they know. My power is back. Come and join us. I was like, dang, the stream was so fire too. Don't take me down for too long. Okay, we're back. All right, good deal. So, what the fuck were we talking about? Oh yeah, give me one sec. Just so that I could see YouTube chat better, I need to do a thing over here. Oh wait, I can just do this. You know, you guys know, like a lot of content creators, like big mega content creators that are way bigger than me, like what they do is that they have like 2 fucking internet providers so that like if their internet goes out, they can still like do content, which is crazy, right? But I don't think it accounts for power, because what do you do when the fucking power goes out? That's pretty crazy. Anyways, they're exploring a PC port, and what I think I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by the power is that in order for Final Fantasy stuff to grow, be it Dissidia Duellum, be it the mainline series, whatever, you kind of have to have word of mouth from the fan base, like your initial people who are there no matter what, right? And then that spreads outward to other people. And so in order for something like Dissidia Duellum to be successful, you have to have the core Final Fantasy fan, the Final Fantasy fan that's willing to give any FF game a shot. It has to be convenient enough for them to want to go and pick it up. And one of the problems with Dissidia Duellum, and this is also a problem with The First Soldier and a lot of Square Enix's gacha games, is that it comes out so much later. And after launch, people aren't really going to care as much. They got to stop treating PC like an afterthought. It is growing and already considerable in size. Look at FF7 Rebirth PC sales. Yeah, I know. And imagine how good Rebirth would have done on PC if it was actually something that you could have bought from the first day. You know, when the marketing is kind of like at its strongest. And so, you know, you can't kind of come at this stuff in hindsight. You have to be proactive. Did they ever release FF7 Rebirth PC sales? No, but from the estimates, we know that it probably sold around 1 million. The way they handled Dissidia is very similar to how the mainline's been handled. Square Enix keeps reinventing it every time in an effort to bring in new fans to varying success. Right, exactly. And you could also say with Dissidia Duellum or Final Fantasy 16, right? You can both say that maybe they're not even necessarily bad video games, but it's also kind of like you're not making the thing people want, which makes people not able to handle these things that aren't maybe initially the thing that they would want, but they'd be willing to give a try. It makes them look at it in a negative light because they see this as the gatekeeper to why aren't you making the thing that I actually fucking want? And that's the problem, right? For example, do you guys think Dissidia Duellum would be viewed in a negative light if there was also a brand new mainline Dissidia for consoles and PCs right now? No, right? If anything, people would be willing to give Dissidia Duellum a shot because they're like, oh, okay, I get this in addition to a new mainline Dissidia. This is actually something that also made Opera Omnia work, right? Even though NT wasn't the best Dissidia, let's just say. You know, but they were still giving you a brand new mainline Dissidia game, and they were saying, oh, hey, by the way, we're also doing this new Dissidia thing. And Opera Omnia ended up being a success. Again, most of the answers for Square Enix's problems are already things they fucking done, right? Like it's not like, oh, they need to like try like this brand new thing. Genuinely speaking, it's just that they stopped doing the thing that they used to do because they wanted to chase growth. But they're not actually able. They're right now. They're shrinking. They're not growing, right? And so, you know, it's crazy. Do Duellum and a Duodecim port. Right. Exactly. Right. Like, would anyone be bitching about Duellum if they announced Duellum alongside Duodecim Remaster? I do not believe a single person would really be fucking like complaining if those two were launched together, right? And the fucked thing about this is that Duellum is actually a good game. I've been playing the living shit out of this game. I'm in gold. I'm about to reach diamond. If I would stop getting some terrible matches back to back, I got up to gold 2, and then I slid back to gold 3. It's actually a fun fucking game. I did not expect to tell you guys that this game is actually fun. And the gacha, strangely enough, isn't ruining it as much as I thought it would. It does ruin it, like when you get to Diamond, like later in Diamond and Omega, there are whales that definitely make the game less fun. But actually, you know, on the way to Diamond and Omega, it's really not that bad. It's actually a really, really fucking fun game. Like if Duodecim port existed, I'd just ignore Duellum entirely. I wouldn't care for it. I wouldn't need to care about it. I mean, that's fine. Because I think that some people may have even felt that way about Opera Omnia too, right? They may not have liked NT, but that was kind of like their main thing, and then they didn't really. But at the same time, though, too, kind of the problem with that Opera Omnia faced. Or not that Opera Omnia faced. What am I saying? I forgot where I was going. Never mind. I actually find the community part within Duellum cute. Duellum is actually a fucking solid game. I'm telling you. Like, it's really not terrible. I do think that the gacha aspects of it are unfortunate, and they suck, and they make the game not as good. Again, the gacha aspects don't really affect you until you get past gold, and then that's when it's kind of bad. But bronze through gold is lots of fun. I do see a pay to win brick wall at the end of the tunnel, though. There definitely will be. Definitely will be. That being said, you can outskill paid players. Schrodinger's Baby Seal has like outskilled many paid players, but he is one of the best gamers that I know. That man can sit down and play any video game and become like one of the best people who plays it. He's really fucking good at games. And yeah, he just reached Omega, and he did that as a free player. So I think you have to really not mind doing the same type of battle, no adventure, little enemy variety. It's just repeating the same battle. I mean, I'm really into like that type of mastery, and so I don't mind it too much. I wish I was good at games. Me too, brother. But here's the thing. You want to get good at games, it's the same as anything else in life. You spend a lot of time doing it, and then eventually, you get kind of sort of good at doing it. So just focus on playing the types of games that you like, and that will get you there. So let me bring this up. Tell Baby Seal he should stream more. People miss him. I'm going to send that to him right now. I'm literally just going to screenshot your message, and there you go. I like literally just screenshotted it and like sent it to him on Discord. So I actually wanted to talk about the box art for Final Fantasy 15. Because I actually don't think the box art for this game reflects the game that we actually got. For lack of a better word. Hold on real quick. I'm sorry, I'm such a mess today. See if my thing will... Okay, there we go. Has anyone ever realized that this box art is like... makes no fucking sense? Let me explain. This box art depicts them fighting the Lucia. I don't think I have the Discord command active or any commands active right now. I fucked it up. But they're fighting the Lucia. Look at this, for example. Gladio is actually pointing at the Lucia. Ignis is looking up at them. They're surrounding the main characters. Noctis is looking up at them, and their weapons are drawn. Yeah, he is doing the pointing meme, right? He's like literally pointing at them as the enemy. If you've played Final Fantasy 15, especially pre-Royal Edition, you would know in the original vanilla game, you don't fight the Lucia. Right? They added this, I think there was a section in the original game where you were meant to fight the Lucia, but it doesn't actually happen. I don't think this is a US department thing, because Visual Works is still the ones rendering this, and it still goes through approval in Japan. What I think happened here is that I think this shit just doesn't reflect what the actual game. No, I don't think it was like they purposely misled, or this is like a subversion thing. I think the story was just changing in 15 so frequently that it no longer reflected what the game was actually about by the time it was finalized. And you have to keep in mind, this story was changing all the time while they were developing it, right? The moon was also really important. And that's also why when we look at the Japanese box art, let me pull that up. The Japanese box art also makes a heavy reference to the moon, and the moon was going to be super important in Versus and in 15, early 15, before it got scrapped. And so the moon here is really big. I like both the Japanese and the North American box art. I think both are cool. But I do think I like the Japanese box art a little bit better. I do understand why they would change the one for North America, because, yeah, the one for North America definitely makes more sense to North America. But again, very big moon right here in shot. The moon was like such a central thing to early 15 and Versus. But now in the final game, moon is not that big of a deal. So, I mean, fighting the Lucii would be dope. I think it's why they brought it back for the Royal Edition, right? If talking to Acid Rain has taught me anything about Final Fantasy XV's post-release content, most of the post-release content is not brand new ideas. Most of the post-release content, including what Dawn of the Future was going to be, were all things that were conceived during the original game's development. And then what happened is they decided, after all that stuff was cut, they would find ways to include it back into the game. This is like such a beautiful artwork as I look at it. It's a really just beautiful box art. I really do like the Japanese one quite a lot. Yeah, in Versus, they all had like their own crystal too. And then it eventually became one crystal. Next time we see the moon, it would be in Quadratum, Cage 3 endpoint. Point out the real moon, just like Versus. You're right, Memoria. And in fact, and I'm gonna talk about this a little bit more in the video, but like one of the things that I have not seen people talking about too much is the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret movie, and how brilliant this one frame is. I think Nomina really did not like them removing the moon stuff. I think it really upset him. Because again, the moon was a big part of Versus, right? And is a big part of early 15 script. What is Kingdom Hearts if not a heart moon? And so here you have the moon of Versus 13's world, and he's making a heart. He's making Kingdom Hearts out of the moon. So I'm kind of like, I've been working on theories too. Speaking of what you're mentioning here, my interpretation or my guess, based on like what we know of FNC and the Versus, I think that the crystal might have been Etro's heart, and the moon was like Etro's eye, if that makes sense. So if we look at Final Fantasy XV's logo, or I should honestly say Versus's logo, because this should, like, it's not even accurate to honestly say it's Final Fantasy XV's logo, because this logo does not have shit to do with the game that Final Fantasy 15 actually is, like, at all. But they still used it. So um, if you look at this right here, right behind Etro's head, right behind Etro's head, there is something that looks like a moon. And I think the moon is kind of like Etro's gate. Yes, yes. I think it's like an eye, but also Etro's gate. And that moon is how Etro watches over her children, basically. Because remember, Etro created humanity in FNC. Basically, Etro keeps herself safe, which through her blood, humanity is born, basically. Um, and so Etro is essentially watching over mankind, and the moon is her eye. And that's what this depicts here is the moon. And so basically through the eye, Etro's gate opens, right? And if you think about the moon and the cycles of the moon, it does kind of mimic like a pupil opening. There's a video coming on this that I'm basically spoiling to you all right now about Virum Rex and whatnot. This is essentially what the theory video is going to be about. But I'm talking about it right now because talking about it out loud with you guys helps me solidify the theories and such better. In the context of Kingdom Hearts' world, I may need to talk to a Kingdom Hearts lore expert in order to like better solidify this with how it can overlap with Kingdom Hearts. But if you think about Kingdom Hearts itself is also kind of like, because the moon, like Etro's gate, right, would be kind of the gateway to which you go to the unseen realm, right? And the unseen realm is essentially the world of the dead, right? And Kingdom Hearts is also the origin of all souls. I'm going to say souls instead of hearts. Because I think all of Kingdom Hearts makes more sense if you say souls than hearts. And maybe that's like a Western nuance. I don't know. But it's really Kingdom Souls if you think about it. But yeah, but Kingdom Hearts itself is like the origin of all souls, right? Which is kind of just like the unseen realm, right? Etro's gate. And so, yes, Tamashi, soul. Yes. The first soul's like, yeah. So true, bestie. And before somehow Kingdom Hearts itself is also Etro's gate. Brother, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Kingdom Hearts itself is fucking Etro's gate. Kingdom Hearts 1 is heart, Kingdom Hearts 2 is body, and Kingdom Hearts 4 is soul, I think. Yes, actually, dang, that's a good point, Memoria. Yeah, Tamashi is soul or being, right? Actually, and you're right here. Maybe I should make a distinction between heart and soul. Because FNC actually does make a fucking distinction between heart and soul. So maybe you're right. I should dial that back. So as an FF13 nut who studied FNC, the lore differentiated between soul, vessel, and spirit. The latter represented heart of the individual. That's how it worked in 13. You're right. Actually, I should. You're right. I should not say Kingdom Souls, because if we're talking about this in an FNC context, which we have to be talking about this in an FNC context, FNC does distinguish the heart from the soul. And this is a weird thing because in the English translation for it, the localizers didn't distinguish initially between heart and soul, where the original Japanese did distinguish between heart and soul. So that was actually something lost in the localization. Kingdom Hearts 3 also makes a distinction. The resolution of the pirate world in KH3 has vexing crash out at Davy Jones's heart being a biological heart. Yeah. This is also just normal Japanese language. Kokoro and tamashi are not the same thing. Right. That makes sense. Because, and that's also kind of a like a, I don't know if that's like, let's say like a thing that is more common in all of Eastern cultures, or maybe this is a Western lens. But I definitely know in like English, for example, we kind of don't necessarily distinguish heart and soul. They're like synonymous with one another, right? Like we kind of view it as basically like your consciousness beyond your physical being. Which I'm not actually sure on all the details culturally speaking in Japanese of what the difference between kokoro and tamashi would actually necessarily all entail. I don't know if there is like a if anyone has anything written. I think the equivalent in English would be to distinguish spirit and soul, right? Although even then, like spirit and soul is kind of like there's like a really hard to define nuance between the two. So is Ultima JRPGs your Discord server? Yeah. I've always separated them as physical heart and spiritual soul. Maybe I'm just weird. Yeah, it's a tough thing to distinguish. But FNC does distinguish it. I don't know if Kingdom Hearts will ever, let's say, if Kingdom Hearts will like have souls in it, because I think that hearts in Kingdom Hearts are supposed to be kind of souls, but maybe they aren't. I actually just don't know. I just don't know. I wonder. The only reason I say that is because I feel like, will Disney be okay with the talk about souls? Granted, I don't know. We already have a notion of soul with lingering will. Oh, fuck. That's true, Memorial. You're right. You're right. Does it explicitly use the word soul when describing lingering will? I don't remember. But I think you're still right. I think that's still like the concept of a soul, maybe. Well, in the FNC lore, it is chaos that Etro gave to mankind. Their hearts. Okay. But there are also multiple lingering wills/spirits. Okay. So souls are already kind of a thing in Kingdom Hearts, if you like really dig into it. And that might also be kind of distinct from hearts as well. Nominate called it a soul, if I remember correctly. Fuck, I need to speak with someone who like really, who's like a very like well-respected KH lore expert before I put this video out, because I don't want to fuck up and have Kingdom Hearts fans hate me. But I want to make sure that I have this like correct, because I know Kingdom Hearts, but I don't know Kingdom Hearts lore like deeply in the way that I know like Final Fantasy stuff. Mostly because I didn't really play Union Cross or Dark Road. That's kind of like the gap in my knowledge on Kingdom Hearts, and unfortunately those are really important games. So I don't know. Hold on one sec. I hate this thing. What is wrong with... Hold on. Wait, it's basically heartless being corrupted hearts, and nobodies are like the soul vessels, not the physical body. Yeah, because I think at one point, and maybe this is just like the localization, I don't know, but it basically like made me think that um that the nobody itself was like the physical version of the person, like that's their body, and the heart was more like their soul. And so I don't know. I forgot what Xehanort says at the end of Birth by Sleep, Terror Route, but he doesn't call Lingering Will a heart. I think he called it a mind. Interesting. I should talk to HMK about it. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. He's probably like the easiest like Kingdom Hearts contact for me to reach out to talk about this stuff with. So maybe I'll hit up HMK about this. I'll talk to a couple of KH heads and see like what they have to say. Maybe I don't know. I don't have like a I haven't really talked to him much before, but also maybe Gamers Joint Cynical, I think he goes by. Maybe I can contact him and he can help me work out some of these details. I don't know. As someone who's never played KH, this is making me think I'm going to need to watch a lot of analysis videos if I start. KH can be a lot. It can be a lot. I do think that some people kind of downplay like it can be a lot. I'll just leave it at that. It can be, for sure. I don't think it has to be, but I think if you play the games, you'll understand like 80 to 90% of it. But there is also like the mobile game stuff, and that can be where it definitely gets hard to I don't want to say like it's not like impossible. It's not like inaccessible in the sense of like, oh, I can't access it. It's just like it might be like a little laborious to consume some of that content. I don't think that fan theories are needed for understanding Kingdom Hearts, but I do think that like when you dive into Dark Road and Union Cross stuff, it's just like it does feel kind of homeworkish, and you do have to be like really dedicated to Kingdom Hearts in order to do that. I've been playing Kingdom Hearts for 24 years in Cynical School. Yeah. I would want to reach out to him. I just wanted to reach out to him in general. And I'll reach out to HMK and probably some other like KH heads about some of these thoughts before I put the video out. Because again, I just want to make sure everything is on point on the Kingdom Hearts side of this. You know, because it's kind of like, oh yeah, then there's Skyward Wing, Sarahi. Yeah, all those people would also be really, really good people to talk to. I'm also pretty cool with Skyward as well. So I'm sure he would definitely. Actually, that probably would be like the first person I'd reach out to because I'm pretty cool with him. So I think I'll definitely reach out to him too. But I'll get a couple of takes on where I'm going with this. Clax, thank you for the bit. If you'll let me flex a bit, at one point HMK thought the yellow eyes were symbolic of being close to the Heartless, but I remember reading in an Ultimania that it was actually a connection to Xehanort, and he corrected himself in a later video. This was almost a decade ago, so I'm not sure if he remembers. You're both wrong. Yellow eyes means that it's your shadow in persona. That's the real meaning. It's your shadow. You're not me. If you need any help, I know a lot about it too. Feel free to ask. There are plenty of knowledgeable creators who are really knowledgeable about the lore. Oh yeah, for sure. I'd love to chat with you about it, Memoria. Yellow eyes means you have jaundice. Okay, let's go ahead and start Final Fantasy 15. Let's see. Make sure I start it from the mod launcher, because if not, AP cost will be the same. And this is like, I usually don't like using like gameplay rebalancing mods, by the way, because a lot of the times I'm like, I want to play like the original developer's intention. I don't want to play like, you know, something that changes that necessarily, at least not too much. But this is one thing I just don't give a fuck about. The AP costs for these abilities in this game are fucking ridiculous. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. So yes, I will correct the developers on this one. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, like they were wrong to make the AP cost for this shit so high. It is ridiculous. I don't think you should have to do all that shit to get some of these abilities, especially when these abilities help make the game a lot more fun, in my opinion. I think that they were just trying to pad shit out, right? And to like really encourage you to do like a lot of the side activities and stuff, which is fair. I get it, but yeah, like holy fuck. I'm like, I ain't trying to do all that. FF15 either vastly increases AP gains in gameplay or AP overhaul mod. Yeah. Because honestly, you would basically be grinding all day for like basic abilities. And again, a lot of these abilities just make the game more fun. And so I think it is better in most situations just to have them and not have them be something that you have to grind out for so fucking long. Speaking of which, brothers, can we ascend? We cannot. We used up all of our AP. So hopefully this goes better than last time. Last time this went horrible and we fucking died and it was really bad. But we're gonna try this again and hopefully it does go good this time. Guys, when do you... Oh, that's actually a good point. When do you recommend starting episode Ignis within 15 story? I'm not sure, honestly. Hold on, let me put my nose. When should we start it? Can't wait for Garuda. Garuda didn't even fucking come last time, dude. I was so pissed. Like, the one time I would have been okay if she showed up.
Ooh, this should be fun.
Can we skip?
Again, we enter...
We've already seen this.
Are you ready? We enter under the cover of darkness and withdraw by first light.
In SP, when will you get the eyes that see the light of expiring souls?
There are generators that fortify Magitech
in this
troopers.
near-death
Take them out,
experience
and the enemy won't be nearly as fearsome. Let's go.
that I'm about to have right now. I think. Okay. Okay.
So they're sleeping?
Take care to avoid detection. If a trooper is alerted to our presence, it will awaken its fellows.
And yeah, we talked about this, I think, on the previous stream. But it's crazy how they really did want this to be, you know, the game with fucking everything. It's gotta have stealth. It's gotta have camping. It's gotta have action. It's gotta have all these different things, right? The level of ambition here with this game is just absurd. And unfortunately, it deserved a lot more than the rushed development cycle that this ultimately ended up getting. Why is it that only shows up when I go behind this? Oh my god, are you serious? Are you serious? What the fuck? That's so stupid. Y'all saw that, right? Y'all saw how stupid that was? Oh my god, are you serious? Chat, this run is already cursed. Y'all saw that, right? That wasn't me, bro. What? Where are my boys? Oh my god, we're already fucking off to like a terrible start. Okay. Brother. Holy fuck. This is so bad. We're so cooked. This is so bad. I do blame the game for this one, I'm not gonna lie. That's 100% the game's fault, dude. That wasn't even me. I literally did the thing right. I held the button. And it was like, no, you didn't hold the button. Like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Oh wait, actually I should use some Allomancy here. Can I use that actually? Let's see. How about instead of the flame shield? There we go. It said warp point, not warp kill. Oh, you're right. Fucking dyslexia at it again, bro. You're right. But why didn't the warp kills show up? That's also another question. Why'd you say the best part of 15 to play is? I actually really do like these bases. I think they're actually like really fun.
You were foolish to come here. Surrender now, or we will make you wish you had.
Also, these guns suck. Like the little
These jerks.
turrets, they suck. They don't really do much in terms of damage.
This is our chance to settle the score.
Fuck.
Guerrilla tactics solve that problem. But now it's time for
Okay, armature.
You led us all on a merry chase.
There we
But
go.
your running days are over.
Is the DLC still on PSN? Yeah, it is.
Alive.
You can still get everything for the game.
Just keep coming.
And we'll keep mowing them down. If they don't mow us down.
Wait, could I not? Why won't it let me? Oh, I have to start the battle, I guess. Sorry, Gladiator. Small price. Well. Aw, damn, and Ignis is also down. So that's the end of that. Dang. Okay. But I think we get a checkpoint there, so not so bad. Okay. Nah, it's really because I died at the beginning that, yeah, I couldn't use regroup. It wouldn't let me because Ignis was already down.
Heads up, Noct. More incoming.
Didn't expect to meet again so soon, Highness.
You were foolish to come here.
Okay, let's try it again.
We'll make you wish you had.
Who the hell are these jerks? Loki and Calico, commanders of the Imperial Army.
Knox, this is our chance to settle the score.
Let's put an end to this.
The fuck do you mean Magitech is weak to fucking lightning? Fake news, brother.
You led us all on a merry chase, but your running days are over. How about that? Take the prince alive.
Maybe you can use the turrets when the big mechs drop? Maybe.
They just keep coming.
And we'll keep mowing them down. If they don't mow us down.
I can try it. Let's see. Oh, it does work. Maybe it's better than I thought. You're right. Shit. Fuck. We must regroup. Where's Ignis? Propto. No, 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 no. Let's go. Okay. Need to take these guys out fast. Okay. Let's try some warp strike kills. Actually, to do this fast, the best way is gonna be, where's Ragnarok at? So
Pay attention, Iggy.
there we go. And this way we can just pick them off. Triangle to win, boys.
Iggy, look out.
Oh no, I can't triangle to win. Oh wait, yes I can. Ah. It makes more sense to triangle them.
Let's finish it off.
You must be getting tired.
Easy.
By now. Here, let me put you to sleep.
You humiliated me before. This time the pleasure will be mine.
And this is where things are gonna get way harder. Where are they at? Oh, okay. I could disable like an arm or something. I don't know. Okay. Here we go. Kinda. Oh fuck. Here comes the other one. Fuck.
Good as new.
Where's Iggy? Iggy. Oh, thank God. Okay. Let me get the hell out of there. Gladio in danger. Come on. ATV. Regroup. We must regroup. There we go. Bam. We're back in the fucking game, boys. Okay, let's keep attacking the one that doesn't have as much health. Prompto's back. Gladio's in way big danger. Oh shit. Oh fuck, Gladio's gone. Shit. Nothing I could have done. Oh fuck. Iggy, please. Iggy. Oh my God. Dude, we have all these memes about Donald Duck. Have you guys seen Ignis? Colex, thank you so much for the tier 1, brother. Oh, thank you for gifting 2 subs. I appreciate it a ton, dude. You're the best.
Alright. Yep.
Oh shit, Prompto.
Here goes nothing!
Nice. We must regroup.
Everyone regroup.
Okay. Yep.
Fuck. Where's Prompto? Where's Prompto? Where's Prompto?
I messed up again. That's that.
Hey. I didn't mean to warp away from it.
You can't do this to me. This isn't over till I say it is.
Regroup.
We must regroup.
Right here.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Armature. No! Why didn't the fucking armature chain activate? Is this guy just down for the count since we... Oh, nope. Never mind. Now he is. Kinda.
I refuse to accept
Oh, shit. Prompto. Prompto! No!
imposters. What sort of joke is this?
It's okay. As long as we have Ignis, I'm actually going to do this now so that Ignis has a full heal so that he can last longer. Oh, is this one still operable? Oh, shit, yes. Let's go.
Impossible! How can they be so strong?
Oh, and this one's dead.
Highness.
What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Hi, behind here. What do we do? Okay. Okay. Where's Iggy? Where's Iggy? Oh, there he is. Oh, thank God. Use my great sword.
Nothing personal.
Never expected outcome.
Get out of there. Or it explodes. Oh.
Knocked. Our business here is concluded. Let us go.
Let's fucking go. If you have any Japanese language related questions, let me know. Oh yes, please. If possible, let me know on like Twitter or something. We fucking did it, boys. Holy shit. We did it. Okay. Let's make sure we save that. I didn't level much between then and now. And so that basically was just me getting good at the game, by the way. That was just literally me learning how to use some of the abilities and stuff better. And the weapons. So, return to rest point? Wait. The fuck? Oh, okay. Maishu no doyobi ni Nihongo no klasu ni ikimasu. Is it like a college class, or is it like you have like a tutor online? How does that work, Clax?
Could crash right here.
Nice.
I swear, half your photos are selfies. Hashtag sorry not sorry. Now that's what I call a good shot.
Dude, this actually is a banger. Minus like the hand clipping through Noctis's jacket. It's a language school. They have different teachers for different language. Oh, that's so cool. Bro, your Japanese sounds great. Oh, thank you.
Look at you.
My sensei is building
Nailed
confidence
it.
in me.
This should be a hit.
She's really great. I actually couldn't. I don't think I would be able to proceed in the language as fast as I am without her. She's actually really cool. She's been helping me so much, and now I think like, dang, I should have had like a tutor earlier. Custom mark time. You're right. Fuck. You're so right, but like, at what cost? It is indeed custom mark time. Oh yeah, you left the car in lead. I did, so you have to go back. I'm only fluent in Japanese because a Japanese foreign exchange student lived with us while I went to Georgia Tech. That's awesome. Okay, let's do. Wait, is there a quest for Castle Mark? There is. Okay, we can just use that.
Everything in order.
Oh, I don't think I autoed. Well, that's fine. You get more AP from driving anyway. Favorite and least favorite things about FF16. What can FF17 do to improve? Okay, let's start with favorite
can I get a pic of
things.
that place, please?
Ben Starr is an amazing actor
Yeah,
and an
go for
amazing
it.
person.
Woohoo!
I think his performance was like top of the top tier, as well as all the other actors in there. So like one of the best voice casts. I don't think we ever like truly had like a bad voice cast for Final Fantasy in general, but they're just incredible voice casts. Incredibly good localization too, because of how the game was kind of
We need to
made.
replenish our supply of curatives. Gotcha.
I thought that the CS3 sound team did really good music, like, and that's obvious. Like Soken and the rest of the team, just absolutely brilliant musicians.
Having a nice morning.
They did so much great work in that game. I think the battle tracks definitely outshine like the BGM.
Yeah.
Not to say that the
that pretty
BGM is
quickly.
bad. It just has a similar problem, I think, to this game too, where the battle tracks are on a different level than the BGM. I don't think that like modern FF has had like S tier BGM like since 13. I think 13 was like the last FF where we had like GOAT BGM. That's an entirely
from
separate
here.
tangent
Good
though.
call.
The music
Now
is
it's
good though,
picture time.
is what I'm trying to get at here in 16.
Ready or not?
I do think that the combat feel in the game, what the fuck, Gladio? I do think that the combat feel in the game,
Game's all
so
yours,
like the
see?
general way in which Clive controls, is probably has like the best overall feel of the Final Fantasy action games, right? And while I'm not a big fan of the combat in like most other places, I do think the actual general feel of Clive, like his movement, and there's just the general responsiveness of the controls and the sort of like little action gamey things that the game does exceptionally well to make it feel like you can be like really creative with its system. Those are the things I would say that I really liked about 16. Least favorite things. There honestly is quite a lot, if I'm honest. But kind of like the major things is that, and I was very open-minded to this at first, but it just fell through, is that I do think that Final Fantasy is a party-based story game. And I do think that the party element, which they tried to symbolically keep there, it is just not what Final Fantasy is supposed to be, I think. I think that the party members should be more involved than what they were. And I think that even this game, in its base form, before Royal Edition, before controlling all the characters, etc.,
So Nox, haven't taken pics of whatever catches
I
my
do
eye.
think that this game has a way of incorporating the party
How about
members
more shots of
into
Gladiator?
combat. And I don't think it needed to be
Gotcha.
much.
I'll see what I can
But if I could have even just like had Jill, like tagged her in for like a special ability or something like that, I think that would have went like a long way for making it feel really involved. This game also took away party members, but one thing that you can say about this game is that this game not
Ignis,
took away
pull over a
party
sec.
members, but took away
So,
playable
right.
party members at first. But it brought them back
Where do we go from
eventually.
here?
But I think if you look at this game, even before playable party members, it did a really good job of making you involved,
You're here. My car is stuck.
or making the player characters involved with the combat, right? So it felt like the party members weren't just superficially there. You control their gear, you control their special abilities, so you can tag them in. As we're doing our semi-no items run, you kind of like
In order. Yep.
are able to go up to them and heal them. And there's a lot of interaction with the party members that compensates for the lack of them being playable. And I do think that if 16 just had that it would have ended up not being as controversial on the side of the lack of playable party members, and it wouldn't have been felt as much. So that's a big thing. I thought the story started out really strong. I'd say the opening probably has like one of the strongest openings in the Final Fantasy series. But unfortunately, I don't think that, at least in my personal opinion, that much of the story after that ever gets back to even being close to the way I felt about the opening hours of the game. Really strong. And especially, I think, the last quarters of the game was really unfortunate in my eyes. I actually think the game was at its strongest when it was the most Game of Thrones, believe it or not, which made the game more interesting and a bit more unique, but is also kind of a problem in a way, because I think the game tries to be the most Final Fantasy in like its last quarter, right? That's when it tries to be the most Final Fantasy, and that's also when I think the game paradoxically is at its weakest. I think that's the part where I'm like, where I kind of check out of the game, is when it tries to dial back into being Final Fantasy. It kind of would have been better if it just stayed Game of Thrones through and through, and focused on the more human element. Because again, I think that's actually where 16's narrative is really the strongest and the most interesting for me, is when it was rooted in that human element, when it was Game of Thrones, and it was like a more grounded FF than we had ever seen before. 16 is at its strongest in its first 10 hours, but IMO that doesn't make those 10 hours strong. I think that there is room to debate that either way, but I think that the first 2 hours, the opening with young Clive, is really strong. 16 has the best story since 10. If you haven't played, ironically, if you haven't played 14 and you haven't played Shadowbringers, I could see how you would have that take. But I cannot say in good faith
Should be a nice change of pace.
that's a better story than Shadowbringers. I don't think it's a better story than Shadowbringers, which I think that's also maybe part of why I had like a bit more negative take on the story is because I do feel like every expansion story for me in 14 is stronger than 16's. And I feel like 16 retreads a lot of the same story elements as 14's expansions, but I don't think it does it as strong as 14 does. I should have just said besides 14, right? And that's again, when I compare it to 14, I'm just like, dude, 14 is just such a much stronger story, I think, than, because again, it's a lot of the same elements, but it's not. What do you mean you wanted it to be more Game of Thrones? I never watched Game of Thrones, so I have no idea. No, I mean like when it was like, when it was more about like the human drama, is like what I was saying, is actually when I found the game most interesting. And I found it least interesting when it was mostly about the divine. But that's funny because thematically, the whole story is really about mankind's connection to divinity, right? So that's also to say that I kind of checked out with the game's core theme overall, right? So again, I know some people who are really deep into religion and philosophy who actually quite love the game and think that it has like a very interesting perception lens on those things. But I also think that
Humming?
I suppose I was.
I kind of think that if you don't have like a good
My lips are
handle on philosophy itself and religion, that you just won't appreciate the game's story as much. And I think, again, a lot of people probably did not know what the fuck Logos and Mythos even were before they started playing the story. The ending might not be impactful enough for FF16. I liked Ultima, but I think that could have been handled better, especially in terms of story. Yeah.
on your left.
Got it.
I get what they were going for with Ultima, and so it makes it actually kind of hard to like form an argument for people who didn't really care for Ultima, because people will tell you about like
Time flies when
the
you're having
themes
fun.
and how well Ultima embodies them. And I don't disagree necessarily, but I also don't think that that inherently makes for great storytelling. You know? Like, I don't think that, oh, fuck. I should have ate. If I say, no, it'll make me walk back there, fuck me. We should eat and then wait for nighttime. Because if I don't eat... Wait, actually, can I... You can't use meals from here. No, of course not. You have to go to camp to eat. Let's go to camp to eat. Because we're going to need those buffs with this shit. Yeah, no, some people really liked Ultima as a villain because they liked what Ultima thematically stood for. And if you care about that more than like, than say like the execution or how it may overall feel in the moment,
And here we are.
Let's
you could
call it a
argue
day.
that,
I'll
yeah,
see what I
he's
can
like
dig
a good
up.
foil for Clyde, but I just don't think... I can't say I found him particularly interesting by the end. Prevents most status elements. That's pretty damn good. Dang, raises max HP by 1500. That's also really good. And raises attack by 300. Dang, I feel like that's too damn good to ignore. Right, and it also kind of feels like it retreads Emmett Silk a lot, just purely on a plot level. It feels like it retreads it, but then at the same time, it doesn't actually It doesn't top it. It doesn't feel better. So
I'm good to go.
Just about awake.
Arden was carried hard by his VA. Well, and that's another thing too, right? Is that part of like what made Emmett Silk like really compelling was also his VA. And it's not like Ultima's performance was bad. So let's be clear about that. The actor got in there and delivered exactly what the directors wanted him to. So it's not like it's not an actor problem. It would be like a direct, basically just the decision to make the character in the way that they did, right? Like that's ultimately all it comes down to. Ultima is like, you never actually like, and I mean, he is an alien, right? But you never really have the same level of kind of feel, I guess, overall with him. Like, I don't really care that he's doing all that. And maybe you're not supposed to. But I think it ultimately just makes him a philosophical concept and not a character. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never becomes a character. He's just a philosophical concept given a name. And again, for some people, that's enough for it to resonate. But for me personally, I don't think that was enough to make Ultima ultimately compelling.
My hands are just
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
The fun's just getting started. You want to turn back now?
Wait, does the game keep all the enemies I killed, like, dead? Holy shit, that's awesome. We're gonna have a much better time. We're gonna have a much better time. It kept all the enemies I killed. This is awesome.
Take a leap of faith.
I love Final Fantasy 15. This game was incredible, bro. What do you mean? They respawn after about 30 minutes? They will eventually respawn? Well, it's been days in game before then, so... But that just means we need to hurry the fuck up and get, like...
Ooh, hey, think we'd make it if we jumped out from here?
I can guarantee you'll make it down. Whether or not you survive the fall, however, is a separate matter.
Let's get
Okay,
to
that's an enemy I did not face.
Well, here we are.
But guess what? I still ain't gotta face that shit, cause the run button in this game allows me to not face these enemies. So there was actually a lot of enemies that we didn't kill.
Yeah.
How are we?
Getting by.
Okay. Well. Dude, Ragnarok is so busted. Where are my boys? Also, the fact I can even do this is crazy.
What hit him?
Demons on the prowl.
I'm gonna just pick them off, dude. What the fuck?
Times.
Enough talk. Time for simulation.
This is great. I love that you could just exploit this.
Onward.
Right.
Not sure we've been here. Let's check it out.
Probably just a room full of enemies. Okay.
Whoa!
We already got whatever was in there. Okay. SP, do you have a video on 16? I don't know much about 16 and know nothing about Game of Thrones except for some questionable stuff. I'm curious to learn more about it, but I don't want to play it myself. I do not. Again, I only like really talk about it as it relates to the series overall, because I think any content I make on it would just make people hate me. So I haven't really made like a dedicated video on it, because I think most people don't care to hear me talk about it. That I did my review video on it, and it's funny too because I really wanted to like the game, and I basically like made a whole video, like in my review video I was like, yeah, I thought the game was good, and then the whole time I just kind of talk about everything I didn't like, and at the end I was like, yeah, I liked it though, trust me. It took me some time to come to terms with how I actually felt about it. So, but at first I thought it was like okay, and then just as time kind of went on, I was like, actually, I got to be honest with myself. I don't think that was okay. But again, that's not to say it is in an objective sense a bad game, or that you can't like it, or that it's a moral failing to disagree with NSP. None of those things are true.
Something below. Give it a quick look. See.
If there's something there, but no one looks, is it really
Let's see if we can avoid this encounter. Is there not a way out? Okay. Regroup.
Everyone form up!
Sure.
Did you just saw nothing?
You're on fire today! Cover!
I love Ragnarok, bro.
Stay close.
But we must regroup.
We must regroup! Right here!
Yep. Got to respect Gladio.
Poisoned or something.
Nice. We must regroup.
Everyone regroup! Sure.
Armature.
That was a close one.
Too close for comfort.
Uncomfortable just being alive.
Nice. How many party members do you think is realistic to expect if FF17 goes down an action-based route? And does that answer change if it goes down to a turn-based? Yeah, it's way cheaper to make party members in a turn-based game than it is in an action game. This is actually the prime reason why Final Fantasy games have decreased in the number of playable party members as they've converted to action. It's 100%. Memoria, you have a good day, man. It's like the prime reason why. And it's one of those things that people don't realize has been a sacrifice to the series as like a direct result of the series no longer being turn-based. That's kind of like, you know, part of the point that I try to make is that like with turn-based and the loss of turn-based, we didn't just lose the fact that the games were turn-based. We also lost a lot of other elements as well that accompanied the games being turn-based. And those elements are more felt than the lack of turn-based itself, right? Like being able to have that big cast of playable characters. Plenty of turn-based games still have that. But why is it that action Final Fantasy doesn't have it? And the reason is, it's just purely because it's way harder to do in an action game. Way harder. Way more expensive and way more time consuming. It's partially why Nanaki isn't playable in Remake and Vincent and Sid aren't playable in Rebirth, despite Zack and Sephiroth being playable for some reason. Yeah. It's precisely why. So these guys have so much HP that honestly, this is just like the best way to handle them. I'm sorry. It is.
Let's go. Indeed.
Dang, this staircase. I think it's worth running past it, honestly. Nice. They still haven't shown Genesis and Ever Crisis. I'm wondering if they're just... I mean, obviously Crisis Core. But I'm wondering if they're only keeping him, like, isolated to Crisis Core. I don't know. I don't think that's a fact or anything. That's just speculation because I was almost certain that Genesis was going to be more liberally used in this game. Yo, Jimbo! Yo, Jimbo, I really don't want to fucking fight you. I'm so sorry. And guess what? I don't have to, but I do have to fight the guys in here. Oh, wait, we killed them last time, I think. And they've stayed dead. Nice. I think because of Dirge, Genesis is sleeping. Well, yeah, but also, supposedly, that's Dirge shouldn't have happened yet. So... Genesis didn't make sense to appear in Rebirth because we still don't have Cloud's identity to show. Part 3, he will definitely show up after the live stream sequence of Cloud. That'd be interesting. Before, if you had asked me if I wanted Genesis to show up, I would have said no. But now I feel like because of what they've already been doing, that it just would make sense for him to show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have preferred it stay closer to Final Fantasy VII OG, but since it's already deviated in so many ways, I think that they just should just like fucking do it. Like, put him in there. Oh shit. I don't have a we must regroup.
Eyes forward.
Sorry about that.
All right. Watch yourself, Doc.
Right there.
Yeah, I feel like trying to stay safe at this point with the story is just
Let me give the order.
somewhat pointless to me, because I know some people feel like this is still very much FF7 as they know it, but for me, the current twists have already kind of like changed so much. This game was not built for this type of close quarters combat. What the fuck were they thinking? I'm sorry. I just feel like they've already changed stuff that makes it a different story to me. Fuck. What the fuck were they thinking when they designed this, bro?
Sure.
Oh, they're not obviously not gonna be weak to that. Because they're resistant to everything.
And on we go.
Right.
Virgin 15 Yojimbo versus the Chad 10 Yojimbo, so true. Is OG7 maybe with mods still goated for you? I mean, yeah, OG7 is still goated, honestly. I think my favorite Final Fantasy still might be 10, honestly. But OG7 is like right there next to it, honestly. I think they're just the two strongest Final Fantasy games overall. I think popular consensus probably agrees with that too. I think most people would probably say, I mean, I think Twitter contrarians would like hate me saying that. And not to say that everyone's a contrarian that disagrees. It's just like, you know, whenever you say that like 10 and 7 are good, people are like, actually, that's what the fake fans say. I'm like, no, not necessarily true.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, some people feel that way. But I think it's perfectly okay to like. Oh, this fucking room, bro. That's right. This is like one of the challenge rooms. Shit. We're gonna Ragnarok spam this room. Oh shit, dude. Okay. I wonder if Ice Spear would like work. We must regroup.
On, form up.
Right here. Yep. Keep it
Oh, it is. Okay, cool. So he is weak to ice, I think. Wait, no. I thought. King Coles, what's up, man? Nope, he's resistant. Okay.
You rang?
Nice. Stasis. Let's go. Nice. We must regroup.
We must regroup.
Sure.
Okay.
I can keep this deal in check.
I wish there was just a better way to handle him in general.
Guess I slipped up there.
Set yourself up for a fall.
Okay.
I know. Hello. Getting by.
No! Yes!
Regroup. Right here.
Garuda! Kill him!
My hands are getting a little clammy.
Why isn't it working? Oh, there it is. Okay. Rama? Dude, you know damn well it's not gonna be Rama. There's only fucking Garuda in this game. There's only fucking Garuda, bro.
Impeccable.
Nice.
That took everything we had.
You should be proud you gave it your all.
I've got nothing left.
Okay, do I have to go out the other way? I do. Do you think the remake will make it for the anniversary? I do, 100%. I think it'll be on time for the 30th anniversary. Have you? Oh, I thought that was at me. I missed someone in chat. Yeah, the gameplay in 15 is like weirdly unique. Make sure to not step on that panel that sends you to the start. I was actually thinking about doing it purposefully, and the reason is because I'm like, wait, as we do more of these challenges, I'm like, I get a little nervous about us dying, and by a little nervous, I mean I am pissing myself a little bit thinking about us dying. Maybe I could just use a potion to like make sure that we don't die outside of battle. That's not cheating, right? I guess me leaving and coming back is also the same thing. So I guess it really doesn't matter. So let's just say fuck it. Right? It doesn't matter. We'll do this just so that I should have done this instead. It's whatever. That was a waste. I have all these curatives. Okay. That way we can actually finish this without having to just cheese it. Otherwise, this will take forever. And it's really hard to, like, no items run this dungeon. The thing is that I don't want to, like, necessarily use no items, but it's also kind of like, well, fuck, if I choose to not do that, then I'm also choosing to not engage with part of the game's healing systems, which then make the game kind of feel unbalanced in other ways, if that makes sense. All of which is to say, they should have just put like a fucking limit on the items and made it part of the gameplay, right? It's not like hard mode in Final Fantasy VII Remake where not using the items feels good. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the materia system then compensates. When you don't use the items in this game, you lose a core healing system, but then there isn't like really anything good enough to make up for that, and so items outside of combat is fair? Okay, cool. Yeah, because otherwise it just sucks, right? Like, the HP loss in the game that you incur as, like, a day goes along kind of sucks without items.
Finish this already. Gotcha. What? My hands.
Also, close corridor fights like this, for example, in this game are just bad. I'm sorry, they're not good. And so I just cheese my way through them, honestly, because I just really don't want to do it. Straight up, like, what the fuck is this? This shit's, like, what the fuck were they thinking with this, like, specifically? This is not content, bros. Like, I can't even tell, like, what the fuck is happening. Like, what the fuck is the camera, dude? Like, what's the camera doing?
Was that perfect or what?
I feel like I just, like, Armiger hit the button, right? Like, I just Armiger hit the button. Like, it's not fun to fairly fight, and cheesing it also still kind of sucks. Like, I don't know, like, what I'm reasonably supposed to do there that's... Like, what way am I supposed to engage with the game in that section that's supposed to be most fun? It's a mess, man. Yeah, it is, but I still like a lot of things about this game, and oddly enough, I still like a lot of aspects about this game's combat. It's not, like, irredeemably bad, but it just has so much dumb shit in it that it makes... Oh, fuck, there's two of them. Garuda! Garuda! Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Oh, fuck. Okay. Bro, and like, that's another thing about this game too, is that mobs are like so... This is like a ton of shit coming at you, the game. Like, at any given moment during these mob fights, there's just shit coming at you from all directions, and it's just such a chaotic clusterfuck in like a lot of situations, where it's like so much is going on that I'm just like, I'm not really focused on the design of any one particular enemy. I'm just trying to like pick off the lesser enemies so I can figure out like what the fuck I should actually do against the stronger ones, right? Yeah, it like the combat system at times is random bullshit. The video game, 100%. Yeah, the crowd control just isn't good enough for like what they wanted to accomplish here, I feel. And like 2 of these guys just doesn't feel good, bro. Doesn't feel good at all. Let's make a super powerful one. Pandara Blizzaga. Quadcast. That might be the best one to make. Hailcast. Let's do Quadcast. When they throw too many enemies at you, you just can't focus on what's happening because there's too much going on, right? I would prefer if there were a smaller number of enemies that were better crafted in design, rather than what can sometimes feel like a just clusterfuck of just things happening. We must regroup.
Worry about yourself.
Yeah, where there's just like a feeling of just so much shit is just happening. We must regroup.
Everyone regroup. Right here. Yep.
Nice. Oh, nice. Oh no, we must regroup.
Everyone form up.
And maybe I could try shield here. Power shield, I guess, is my best shield. Nice. That didn't really work the way it works in Platinum Demo, but okay. What the fuck? That does not work the way it does in Platinum Demo at all. What the shit? That sucks.
Everyone form up.
Do you remember in Platinum Demo when that would like stun the giant, the Iron Giant? Like, what the fuck, bro? Platinum Demo was such clickbait. Holy shit. We're gonna die. If we die, fuck it, bro. I don't give a shit anymore. Where's my Mega Phoenix? I don't give a shit. This dungeon is ass cheeks, dog. I'm so sorry, but this dungeon is ass fucking cheeks. I'm cheesing at this point, bros. I don't give a fuck. This dungeon is cheeks. Like, I don't want to do this shit fairly anymore. Like, holy fuck, this shit is cheeks. Why Why does my chain never work? I've been doing something wrong. We must regroup.
Sure.
I swear I pressed triangle. I guess I hold it for too long. Regroup.
Everyone form up.
Okay. Yep.
We must regroup.
Everyone regroup.
Right here.
No. I'm crashing the fuck out, chat. I'm crashing the fuck out.
Nox in trouble, Gladio.
Gladio? Bro, I'm near you. The fuck?
Embarrassing.
We must regroup.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Oh, we got armature. And a leak strike. Yay.
Yeah.
Piss ass dungeon, dude. Best dungeon in the game? It is the dungeon that does the most, let's say.
Basking in our hard-fought victory,
Oh, it's not this one. I wish they gave you the new armature from the start. Yeah, I think it's a bad choice to have made that like a kind of a thing that you can only experience basically in like New Game Plus, or if you time travel back and like once you already have everything and you're already like stupid broken. Honestly, the new armature should have just been an armature overhaul. Like we replaced the old armature with a new, better armature. Like, you know, I think that they were way too prideful with this game, right? I think that, and I get why they were, because whenever a company doesn't have to admit fault, they never will, and they will act like all this shit was just like artistic vision. But honestly, they could have earned so much more goodwill with me if they were just like, guys, we fucked up. The game is incomplete. And we're gonna take every opportunity we can to fix it, because we know that like it does irreparable final damage to the Final Fantasy brand if we don't fix it. So we're gonna make sure that that you're completely satisfied with FF15, and that you have faith in Final Fantasy games going forward, right? CD Projekt Red and how they handled Cyberpunk 2077, brilliant. right? I have faith in CD Projekt Red again. I cannot imagine a world where Cyberpunk 2077 launch happens again. I don't know if I have faith that like Final Fantasy 15 can't happen again. I think I mostly just think that like they'll never fuck up in the way they did with the Final Fantasy 15 again, but they could always definitely do something else that kind of maybe not repeats the mistakes, but like
Eyes peeled, mouth closed.
thematically in line with kind of some of the mistakes made here, if that makes sense. Forspoken, oh yeah, you're fucking right. You're right, it did happen again, dude. Because Square Enix Corporate came in, changed what the game was supposed to be about, deleted what like Amy Hennig and like Gary whatever his name was, Gary, I forget the last name, it starts with a W, but that they wrote, and then they took that, and then they changed it into something else, and then, yeah, so, and now Luminous Productions is gone, yeah, exactly. So maybe I am wrong, actually, to say they would never make 15 and happen again. Square Enix actually did fucking make that shit happen again. On a smaller scale, because at least Forspoken, to my knowledge, I haven't played it, wasn't vastly incomplete and didn't have most of the things that it was publicly promised to players at launch. Gary Whitta, yes, that's his name. Because Forspoken's such a mystery, right? Because it had some of the best industry talent working on it, right? And then come to find out, half the shit that they wrote for the game just wasn't straight up in the game. Does that sound familiar to you guys? Dude, I don't know what Matsuda and the people like in control at Square were up to, or like what they were thinking at that time.
Oh yeah.
It's so fucking crazy. I literally don't know what the fuck they were thinking in that era. Debatably the worst era of Square in a lot of ways, because that was just the era where they were just doing stuff, man. And they just did not have much consideration for most of it, let's say. It's very short-termism, I think. But also that's kind of a lot with Square is a lot of short-term thinking, I think, and not thinking about their brand and brands that they own in the long term. Literally none of this would have happened if Matsuda just let Tabata do his thing. I know. I think canceling this game's DLC, well, I don't know. I was gonna say canceling this game's DLC is the single biggest mistake that modern Square Enix has ever made, but I don't even know if that's fucking true, right? Because you could also debate that, like, canceling Versus and, like, pulling Nomura off and all that other stuff was a terrible decision. Actually, I don't think that was, and I say this as a Versus truther, maybe some might say, but even as a Versus truther, I'm not sure if that's still fully the case, because Final Fantasy 15 still could have been a great game, right? Like, it wouldn't have been Versus, but it still could have been good, right? So, and that's the thing that I try to make a point about, and that I think a lot of people don't get, is that it's not so much like, oh, we didn't get Versus, I'm mad. I'm more mad that despite not getting Versus, we also still didn't actually get, like, a finished Final Fantasy 15, right? It's like, you can be mad that, like, for example, Final Fantasy 12 didn't really end up being the game it was supposed to be, right? You could say, I want Final Fantasy Versus 12. Release the Matsuno cut. Right? Okay, that's like one thing. But like most people who are big Matsuno heads, they still kind of like Final Fantasy 12, right? Like it's still not like Final Fantasy 12 that we got is like an incomplete game. You know what I'm saying? They still delivered a full quality Final Fantasy game that has like a full complete story to it, right? Whereas this game does not feel that way. Did you ever read the novel they did, except for the DLC? I only read the summaries, so I actually plan to read the novel. I'm planning on ordering it on Amazon, like tonight probably, so that I can have it. And maybe do a video on it. Also, fuck it. I literally do not give a shit anymore about this dungeon. How many times can you put me in a room with Iron Giants? Okay, now it's 3 Iron Giants, dude. I'm fucking hella using potions. I don't give a shit anymore. This dungeon is ass. Oh my god. Is that Naga? It is, okay. Dude, I have lost my goddamn shit. I am cheesing, bros. I am crashing the fuck out right now. Yeah, so I've wanted to start doing like content on like the Final Fantasy books. So I want to do a book on 10.2.5 because I think that'll be interesting.
Got it.
And obviously a book on Dawn of the Future, as I just mentioned. So yeah, I'm not touching the Final Fantasy VII books because I don't think I need to elaborate on that one. But brother.
Everyone regroup. Right here, huh?
I am crashing the fuck out right now. But anyway, yeah, I want to start doing some content on the FF books because I think it'd be interesting. Because a lot of people have not read those books. I have currently not read those books, and I want to fix that. And I think that there probably is some high-quality comprehensives. What the fuck is this? What is this combat design? I'm so fucking sorry. I'm crashing the fuck out right now, chat. Oh my god, I'm crashing the fuck out. What is this combat design? What were they thinking? Oh my god. What were they thinking? What the fuck were they thinking? This is so bad. This is so fucking bad. Why can't I heal them? Oh, okay, I guess I just use it on Noctis and it uses it on everyone. What the fuck were they thinking? Garuda! You guys know I love a challenging fight. You guys know I do. But this isn't challenge. This is just a fucking shit show. Oh my god, he's petrified because of Naga. Oh my god, dude. Do we have a soft? Antidote won't work. We need... Oh wait, Remedy would work. Oh, but that still puts him in a downed state, of course. So then we do this.
Prompto! Hold your pain. Vegas! Everyone regroup. Right here, huh?
my god. Oh my god.
Not. Help Iggy.
I don't know where the fuck Iggy is. And that's another thing too. I like this mechanic, but half the time I can't actually see the fucking party member. So how can I help them if I can't actually see where they are? When they're in danger, they should like glow or something, right? Like the party member should like glow and you should see them. And it should be like so obvious, like where the fuck is Ignis right now? Like really, where the fuck is Ignis? There he is. There's Ignis, but it's just like, you know, how would I even know? How would I even know?
Not good. You owe me one.
Get you back later.
Oh my god.
My bad.
And then Prompto is dead. I'm gonna wait until I'm dead and then we'll use a Mega Elixir. I mean a Phoenix down. Mega Phoenix down. Dude, we are not making any type of like progress here. Okay. Where is it? Even with item spam. Let's see. Do I have any cheese weapons that I could use? I don't think you can change gear mid-party. No. Can't change gear. I don't have any of that. I'm just like, I'm ready to break the fucking game right now. I'm so done. I'm so done. Wait, I do have one semi-broken weapon. The Crown King. This is a pretty cool mod weapon. It's the engine blade and sort of the father at the same time. Literally, what the fuck is happening, bro? I don't even know. I don't even know, man. Garuda has never come, even once when I fucking need her to come. She like literally only comes when it's like, oh, you got it? Oops. Oh fuck, I didn't press it in time. Oh Oh my god, bro. Iggy died. So we're out of regular Phoenix Downs. So Iggy is just going to stay dead until I have to use a Mega Phoenix, which we still have 4 of. What the fuck were they thinking? Oh my god. Oh, because I'm petrified. Very weird how you can use a remedy when you're petrified anyway. I think this is the only FF game where you can do that. Where the active character can actually use a remedy while they're petrified. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I wonder if you could cheese this. A little bit.
I can keep this deal in check.
You can't like make it go out of bounds so that it like deactivates the battle. But if you could, I would do it because fuck this dungeon. Oh my god. Gross.
Sorry to bring this up. Nice work, Gladio.
Time to play Final Fantasy 15 as it was meant to be played. Potion spam, bros. I am so done. And this is like the most I've crashed out in a long time. But like I am just like livid right now with this. This dungeon fucking sucks. Parry through the fucking wall. Awesome. Chat, this is how you know they designed this game in like a hurry, because nobody played this shit and was like, yeah, this dungeon is fire. Put it in. They didn't have time to playtest this shit. There's no way they had time to actually playtest this shit. I am sorry. There is no possible way that they had time to playtest this and were like, yeah, dude, it's fucking fire. I do not believe that this was playtested, like, not even for a second. Playing this in 1.0 is even more crazy. I believe it, dude. Ah, fuck. Well, what I wanted to do. Fucking serious. I just want to shoot the bazooka. Can I not do that? This is doing no damage, and Gladio is fucking... Not Prompto! Gladio! Ah, shit. Well, there goes a potion. We're actually gonna use, like, all of our fucking items here. Oh, he's a toad. Oh, okay. Well, there goes his toad status, and then we'll use... Oh, you know who we should use? We should use Iggy. Noctis is in fucking danger, because of course he is. Okay. Okay. I jump. Bro. The game was so much fun up until this exact point. And then Noctis is a toad, and so we have to then first untoad him and then use a potion. What does total clarity do again? I forget. That, okay. Engage in the spin meta. How does overclock work again? Oh shit, nice. We know. See if I can get to Prompto in time. Nope, I can't. Hi, Elixir. Ah, fuck. I shouldn't have used that. Just get them back manually. So that we're conserving on the item usage. Do I have a Maiden's Kiss? Or do I only have like a single remedy left? Or no, I have 5 remedies. Why is it I can't use any other items? This fucking game. Noctis is just dead. We'll bring him back when I die. Which is now. And we have Mega Phoenix. Which should bring everyone back, but we're running low on Mega Phoenix, so we actually have to... keep everyone alive. Maybe. But then we also need to like desperately kill Naga first. But then Naga is like impossible to kill right now. So then we aren't like severely underleveled or anything, by the way. Like, but then appropriately targeting an enemy is also impossible. So I kind of just have to like do this type of shit near them and hope that it's hitting. Let's go back to Noctis real quick. Oh no, Gladio. Wait, wait, no. Wait, no. Wait, no. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's over. We have a singular Mega Phoenix left. Which we're gonna use now. And I don't know how I missed the counter on that. I can't believe that we're actually gonna run out of items, bro. This is the worst dungeon in the fucking world. Holy fuck. Okay, at least we got that one. Please, Gladio. If we could at least get one of these guys. If we could at least just get one of them. I think we'll be in a good place. Maybe. Or at least a better place. Like, what the fuck? This guy is like sucking me down while the other guy is like doing this, and it's just like, yo, what the fuck? Oh my god. They didn't even consider how these enemies work together. Which is to say, when there's more than one Iron Giant, the combat system kind of falls apart, in my opinion. But You know what, guys? Final Fantasy 16's underrated. Actually, like, no lie. No lie. Google says console mark minimum is level 55. Oh, okay. Well, that's probably the problem. I'm like way under level. Okay. We're definitely gonna like leave out after this, I think.
Everyone regroup. Right here, huh?
Oh my god. I am petrified. Okay, there we go.
Sorry to break this up.
We're gonna start using Prompto's recoil here instead. That's not really working. Oh shit, Gladios. Danger, I'm in danger. We'll use Mega. Oh, fuck.
No more Mr. Nice Guy. It's nothing.
Gotta watch Ignis's health because I don't want him to die. Okay, someone got him. Okay. Wait, where the fuck is Iggy? And this is like, again, this is one of those things that they could do to greatly improve the game. But it's like, in areas like this, I should know at all times where my party member is who is in danger and needs me. I shouldn't have to like look for them. You know what I'm saying? Like this. It should highlight them because going to save your bros is part of the story, right? Like it is part of the game. And so one way in which you can encourage that to happen is through the means of highlighting the characters whenever they, yeah, visual or audio cue, yeah, so you can go and find them really fast whenever they go down. And unfortunately, the game just doesn't decide to do that, and I don't understand why, because again, I think that's like the coolest mechanic of the whole game is this. Like that to me is like brotherhood. Lift your brother up whenever they die too fucking frequently and are a little asshole. God damn, bro. Alternatively, though, think about how much we're gonna level up from this shit. Why does that? Why doesn't he? Why? Oh my god. Was that our last Mega Phoenix? Oh shit. We are fucked, chat. It's literally just me and Gladio now. We might not make it.
Sorry to break this up. Nice work, Gladio.
Chat, this is the most stakes video games have ever had. We may not fucking make it. Oh my god. Please. Oh my god, no way. Let's take him down, let's take him down, let's take him down. Oh my god, why does he have so much health? Oh wait, Gladio! What the fuck, Gladio? Damn, I really don't want Gladio to die. Gladio, use your iframe so you don't die. I can't even target the guy I want to target. We're really gonna run out of potions. This is unfucking believable. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can just warp strike spam the rest of this. Nope, I need to try to make it to Gladio. Nope, I can't make it to Gladio. I think that may have been it. That may be it. Oh my god, we have one Mega Elixir left. Chat, please. Please say it ain't so.
Sorry to break this up. Nice work,
Please. Armature. Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, I missed it. Shit. I was just panic pressing the circle button.
I can keep the steel in check.
Oh my god. Okay, 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 okay.
do it. Sorry to break this up. Nice work, Gladio.
It all comes down to this, chat. We're gonna play as cheap as fucking possible. I don't give a fuck. When I get out of this dungeon, we are camping and we are eating good. We are gonna level the fuck up and then we're gonna come back here. What is he even doing over there?
Sorry to break this up.
Why? No, Gladio. Terrible fucking work. What the fuck, Gladio? What the fuck, Gladio? Oh my god. Wait, I still do have a remedy. Block. That didn't really work. Okay. That is pretty funny, Prince Crocus. Game of the year. So true, bestie. So true. Just so you know, NSP, this isn't even the end of the dungeon. Oh my god. Okay. We're using the warp point to get out of here. We're using the warp point to get out of here. I did do it, but at what cost? At what cost? Oh my god. At what cost, man? Holy fuck. Our sanity? Oh my god, bros. FF7 better be like this? I don't know. I don't know, bros. I don't know. Use a greatsword in magic next time? Bro, I was out of magic. That's the problem. Look, I had already used almost all my magic. And the only thing I had left was fire, which I don't think was going to be that effective on those guys in particular. Not gonna lie, watching this was super low-key entertaining. I'm glad that my suffering means that much to you. I mean, in this game, and like what we just saw in this combat, like kind of shows how this game differs from Final Fantasy 16, right? Because in Final Fantasy 16, if you're under leveled, because remember, even though their level was like 40 something, the reality is that this is like a level 50 dungeon, level 55 dungeon, which is so stupid because it definitely is a level 55 dungeon. I don't know why the enemies are labeled level 40 something when they're clearly not. They're clearly intended to be taken on by a level 50 plus Noctis. But anyways, that battle ironically kind of showed where this game differs from like 16, because in this game, level fucking matters. Like, it fucking matters. Like in 16, for example, an enemy can be 10 or 15 levels higher, and it may just take like a little bit longer to defeat them. But there is no real difference between you doing that and you leveling up and fighting them, really.
Sticky and gross.
It's all kind of samesies, right? Whereas you can say in this game that the RPG mechanics do matter, and that sometimes you have to engage with them because there are some lacking, let's just say, action game elements. Prevents most status elements, I think we could use. Remember, chat, if you end up breaking NSP, he will end up glazing 16. Like I said, the action game feel in 16 is certainly better. To commemorate the trauma.
Stylish as always.
Is certainly better than this game. There's no question about it. In fact, I think if this game had 16's combat feel,
What's the forecast?
it
Clear
would
skies
be
with the temperature rising.
a lot better.
Nice.
Conversely, though, if 16 had some of this game's RPG mechanics and world structure, then 16 would also be better, right? Both 15 and 16, in a lot of ways, have what each other lacks, weirdly enough. Oh, God.
And here we are.
Let's also make sure that we save really quickly. Okay, I think... I think maybe we'll call it a stream here. That shit destroyed me, bros. So next time on Final Fantasy 15, we're gonna finish Castle Mark, and then we're gonna go to Altissia. That is the plan. That's like the last one before the dragon, or do I have to do? I have to do more. I don't remember what the fuck. Next time, okay, then maybe we'll do some other stuff then, some other open world stuff, so that we can level it up enough. Because I want to be able to get all the Armiger weapons before we go to Altissia. This was for sure a fun stream. Okay, I'm glad. Because this stream, like, really... it took it out of me, bros. It took it out of me. Here, we're gonna rate my boy Skyward on Twitch, and if you're on YouTube, should be another video later this week. Love you so much. Take care, and don't go into Castle Mark. Peace.